In the heart of the red earth land of Agaro, where the wind carried the voices of the ancestors and the moon watched over secrets men dared not tell, there once lived two sisters, Kemiso and Kaira, daughters of Mama Jirojai, a woman whose tears had long dried on the mat of hardship. Their story was one whispered around firesides, a tale of beauty and greed, of love turned bitter by the taste of envy. Kemiso, the elder, had been born under the waning moon, her heart restless, her eyes forever fixed on the things she did not have. To her, wealth was the sun that gave meaning to life. Kaira, the younger, came with dawn, gentle, gifted, and burdened with the strange power to see what others could not. When she spoke of things unseen, elders said she carried the eyes of the spirits. But where she saw visions, others saw witchcraft. In time, the very gift meant to guide her became a curse that shadowed her every step. Their mother, Mama Jirojai, was a widow hardened by the years. Life had taught her to love sparingly and suspect deeply. She blamed her misfortunes on the child who saw too much, calling Kaira a bringer of misfortune, a child whose shadow darkened her doorway. Yet the girl's heart stayed pure, her love unbroken even by rejection. One dry season, when hunger was thick and laughter scarce, Kemiso sought a shortcut to destiny. She followed a whispering friend into the forest of Egber, where mortals were forbidden to tread after dusk. There, at the altar of bones, she met the spirit of the crossing, the one who traded life for desire. The spirit's voice was like thunder wrapped in silk, promising her everything her heart had ever craved: wealth, fame, men who bowed to her beauty. But every promise in the forest wears a hidden thorn. The spirit demanded blood, not of animals or strangers, but of her own father's lineage. Kemiso's heart trembled, but greed silenced conscience. She returned home with a strange glow in her eyes, the kind that burns too brightly to last. That same week, their father, old Baba Jirojai, died without sickness, without warning. His death came like a sudden storm. The village mourned, but none mourned deeper than Kaira, who saw the shadow that trailed behind her sister's joy. For from that day, everything Kemiso touched turned to gold, and everything Kaira touched turned to dust in the eyes of man. Soon, Kemiso married a wealthy trader from across the river, a man whose laughter shook the earth, whose carriage horses bore silver bells. Her home brimmed with servants, her arms with jewels, but her heart was chained to the altar that had bought her luxury. The spirit had warned her, blood must feed the soil every season, or your riches will wither like yam in drought. When the time came, the spirit demanded another offering, her own mother's life. Kemiso's nights became restless, her dreams haunted by drums that never stopped beating. She tried to resist, but power is a sweet wine that dulls remembrance. So, one morning, she returned home bearing a garment of flowing robes said to be from her husband's foreign lands. Its fabric shimmered like calm water under moonlight, but within its threads slept death itself. She offered it to her mother, saying it was a gift of love. Yet fate, which never sleeps, had whispered the secret to Kaira through a dream. Before dawn, she rose, trembling, and ran through the mist to her mother's hut. When she saw the gown, her heart broke. She begged her mother not to wear it. But Mama Jirojai, blinded by years of bitterness and by the sweet scent of wealth, accused Kaira of jealousy. Her voice was sharp, her eyes burning with pride. What the old woman did not know was that her greed for validation had made her a lamb before the altar of death. In the struggle that followed, truth clashed with deceit, love with desperation. Kaira fought her sister with all the strength in her frail body, protecting the mother who had never protected her. When the villagers heard the cries, they found chaos, the sacred gown torn, the mother fainting, and Kemiso fleeing into the night, her eyes filled with madness. The spirit's wrath fell upon her swiftly. Her beauty faded like rain on sand. The men who once adored her turned away, and her riches scattered with the wind. She became a shadow wandering through markets, her laughter echoing like the cry of a lost soul. Kaira, though wounded and wronged, stayed by her mother's side. She cared for the woman who had cursed her, tending her until the end. And when Mama Jirojai finally understood the depth of her daughter's love, it was too late. Her last words were a prayer that the ancestors forgive her blindness. Kaira buried her by the river, beneath the great Iroko tree, and poured libation with tears instead of palm wine. In the seasons that followed, the tale of the sisters spread across the lands. The elders spoke it as a warning that envy is a spirit hungrier than death, that greed feeds on the hearts of the impatient. Children learned to listen when their mothers said, "Not all that glitters is from the gods." And when the night fires burn in Agaro and the drums begin to hum, the Griot still whisper her name, Kaira, the seer who saved the one who despised her, and Kemiso, the beauty who traded her soul for a fleeting crown. For the earth never forgets the blood that waters it, and the sky never loses sight of the prayers whispered beneath it. As the elders say, the hen that feeds on the blood of kin will one day drink its own shadow.